All right, guys. So Trump has went crazy with executive orders. He's actually broken a record. It's the most executive orders signed in one time ever. Many of them are actually illegal, and some are unconstitutional, even worse. Um, this is from the party that claims that the Constitution's the most important thing ever. Also, the man who said that we should gut the Constitution when he lost the previous election. So let's go ahead and dig into what he's done so far. There's a whole lot, so no way in fuck I can remember it all. All right. President Trump began his pledge to give America a MAGA makeover Monday, taking a slew of executive actions to walk back Biden era policies and fulfill bold campaign promises. The big picture: Trump's radical expansion of executive power will dramatically change life for millions of people if the orders withstand the barrage of legal challenges that are already coming. So we've got immigration executive orders. He promised mass deportations, but hasn't detailed how he would implement, staff, and fund such a massive, costly operation. Trump declares national emergency at Mexico border. Trump declared an emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border, vowing to deploy troops to the region, including the National Guard. He also instructed the Secretaries of Defense and Homeland Security to construct additional border barriers. Trump designated certain international cartels and organizations, such as Tren de Aragua and MS-13, as foreign terrorist organizations and announced plans to invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to target them. Trump suspended U.S. refugee admissions program resettlements until such time as the further entry into the United States of refugees aligns with the interests of the United States. Homeland Security will report back within 90 days whether resuming refugee entries would be in the interests of America. Nearly 1,660 Afghans cleared by the U.S. to resettle in the country, including family of active duty U.S. military personnel, had their flights canceled following Trump's orders, Reuters reported. Trump also ordered Homeland Security to terminate all categorical parole programs that are contrary to the policies of the United States established in my executive orders, including those for refugees fleeing Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. So Trump went on about how he's getting rid of all of these bad immigrants. My cat's thinking that I'm talking to him, so he's freaking out. But so he said that he was going to get rid of all of these like crime-causing illegal immigrants. So one, he's already in some issues because it's not even true. A vast, vast majority of all immigrants, illegal or not, are extremely peaceful. Like he just made up all this shit. There's absolutely zero evidence to back any of it. Just like his eating cats and dogs claim, it's all lies. So where I was going with this is he made this claim that it was all about like the illegal immigrants and how they were like violent criminals and stuff, which is not even true. And then now we're at a place where he's showing who he really is. He's terminated legal entry into the United States by people who are in the most need of all. So, refugees from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela, they were in the process of actual legal immigration, as well as the Afghans, which I mentioned a moment ago. And he's shut it all down. So this is showing what he's really all about. It's white nationalism. It's fucking just obvious, like right in your face fascism. Like that's the one thing in common with all of these deals. They're not white. Very obvious. So he's also like declaring a national emergency pretty much on a non-issue because Biden, again, and you can look it up yourself, it's not bullshit. Biden sent far more people back across the border, even as both as a raw number and as a percentage, than Donald Trump did. He doesn't give a shit about what he claims to give a shit about. So, yeah, there's not even a damn problem right now. Not to mention the fact that illegal immigrants bolster the United States economically. They're your friends. They help you in innumerable ways. And the economy is about to be fucked as a result. And that'll be the next I told you so. So, where was I going with that? Yeah, he's shut down legal entry. So long as you're not white. Remain in Mexico policy. Trump reinstated the Remain in Mexico policy, ending a program that released asylum seekers into the U.S. while their cases were considered. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection website said Monday that appointments made through CBP One app at certain borders crossings have been canceled. Hours later, Trump nixed the program. Now, I saw some video of this, and there's like people who literally went through the app and like legally are being approved through to entry into the United States, and he just shut it down, and there's people just bawling like they had nowhere else to fucking turn. Like, this is just pure fucking shit right here. Trump empowered officials to repeal, repatriate, or remove any alien engaged in the invasion of the southern border. Trump birthright citizenship executive order. One of his boldest moves was an attempt to end birthright citizenship for those born to undocumented immigrants. Birthright citizenship is protected by the U.S. Constitution, and the order already faces legal challenges. Trump ordered agencies starting 30 days after the order not to recognize babies as citizens if their mothers were unlawfully present at the time of birth and their father was not a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident. That also applies to children born to mothers who were lawful temporary residents and fathers who were not citizens or lawful permanent residents. So this would be like if Biden had just struck down an executive order basically saying, we're just going to get rid of the Second Amendment, like all guns, it's gone, like we're done now. What would happen? Like the right would absolutely fucking laugh. They would be like, what? That's retarded, not happening, bud. Like, this is the same shit. You're literally trying to get rid of important fucking shit in the U.S. Constitution. Like, this is absolute fucking fascism 101. This is Hitler 2.0. Energy environmental executive orders. So before we even begin, we are in the best shape that we've ever been in historically. We're actually we're energy independent, which has never happened before. There's all sorts of lies being pushed about, but that's the truth. That's the actual facts of the matter. Trump declared a national energy emergency. Hilarious. Ordering expedited, deregulated drilling as he's repeatedly vowed to drill, baby, drill. One order specifically targets energy production in Alaska, rescinding former President Biden's protections around the state's coastal areas. In a separate memorandum, Trump paused offshore wind leasing in federal waters. He has this fucking crazy thing about damn windmills. I think it's like there's one in sight at one of his golf courses or something. He's like, man, that's ugly. Let's get rid of that shit. And he just started making up all kinds of stupid lies about them. The heads of all other relevant agencies shall not issue new or renewed approvals, rights of way permits, leases, or loans for onshore or offshore wind projects pending a review of federal wind leasing per the order. So, already Trump, being the absolute imbecile that he is, despite all of the science to the contrary, believes that global warming is a fucking Chinese hoax or climate change, whatever you want to call it. What a fucking moron. So we've already pushed past the tipping point in the Paris fucking climate agreement, which is coming up next. And like it's already like fucking way gone. And we're already at a point where we're seeing directly the results of that. So we had the fucking hurricane where I live in Western North Carolina, Helene. We've got the fucking California shit, and we've got all sorts of absolutely unprecedented fucking weather shit going on, like natural disasters that are happening at a rate that's never before seen in history. Every single year, the average fucking rate, the average temperature has risen. Like, you can't claim that it's a hoax and not be a fucking moron at this point. Like, it's at a point where the evidence is so overwhelming that it's like claiming that the earth is flat at this point. So, yeah, and we also have this Arctic blast going on right now, and even that is directly related. I don't know all the details, but it has something to do with how the jump in temperature in the Arctic region has caused a what is typically like a front. I don't know if you call it a front or not. I'm not a weatherman, but this pocket of extremely cold air that stays above the Arctic has moved because of global warming, climate change, whatever. And yeah, this is gonna fucking push it even further. And that is like your fucking children, assuming you have children going into the future. Like, he's just ruined fucking everything. Paris Climate Treaty, state of play. He also signed an order withdrawing the U.S., the world's second largest greenhouse gas emitter, from the Paris Climate Agreement. Trump had pulled out of the pact during his first term, but Biden rejoined the deal in a day one order of his own. It takes a year to withdraw from the agreement, Axios' Andrew Friedman reports. Trump also took aim at the Biden administration's federal procurement targets for clean power, electric vehicles, and other energy goals. Trump directed the energy secretary to restart application reviews for liquefied natural gas export projects, which were paused by Biden over climate change concerns. Trump also revoked a 2021 Biden executive order that set a goal for 50% of the U.S. vehicle sales to be electric by 2030. So this shows you again, Biden, like, he does not gain money by making these fucking things. It's the other way around. Trump is in the pockets of fucking big oil. The same people that actually, it's been proven, knew about climate change long time ago, even before experts were aware of it, and they hid it, and they paid off fucking, and they still pay off fucking Congress to hide this shit and to make it, to try to talk shit about it and have retards fucking believe that it's all made up. It's not real. So yeah, Biden actually gave a fuck about our future, at least to some extent, a far greater extent than Trump. And this shows you, this is what you fucking get. This is what you fucking voted for. Executive orders targeting DEI and transgender Americans. Trump established Monday that it is policy of the United States to recognize two sexes, male and female, on official documents. Well, that's interesting. That's how it's always been. And in fact, transgender people don't even go against that. And that's why it's called transgender, not transsex. Transsex. They're two different things, you fucking idiots. These sexes are not changeable and are grounded in fundamental and incontrovertible reality, as executive order read. Transgender Americans were a central target of Trump's often hyperbolic and outright false campaign trail messaging. That's true. Completely fucking lies. He's trying to ramp up hatred, and that worked. He ramped up hatred of immigrants, the LGBTQ community, so that he could get elected, and he can also use that to fucking hide all the evil shit that he's doing right now. And that's a fucking non-issue. Who gives a fuck about damn how people identify themselves? That's not something that's important. What is important is basically how he's about to completely destroy the economy, and he's basically got robber barons surrounding him, all around him. And he's about to fuck every single person that's not wealthy in the United States. He's actually already started. That's what I'm going over right now. He also rescinded a Biden administration provision that allowed transgender people to serve in the military. Trump did not immediately ban trans military personnel from serving as he did under his first administration, but he paved the path to revive the ban. Trump, as part of his crusade against what the GOP decries as woke culture, ordered the dismantling of government diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives within 60 days. It eliminates policies that establish several diversity initiatives. Axios' Emily Peck reports, including one that widens sex discrimination protections to include sexual orientation and gender identity. In a Tuesday order, Trump specifically directed the Federal Aviation Administration to immediately return to non-discriminatory merit-based hiring as required by law and rescind DEI initiatives. In a separate order, Trump ordered all executive departments and agencies to terminate what he called discriminatory and illegal preferences, policies, programs, guidance, and other provisions, and to combat illegal private sector DEI preferences, mandates, policies, programs, and activities. In doing so, he revoked decades of executive orders, including the Equal Employment Opportunity Order of 1965, signed by former President Lyndon B. Johnson. It also calls for each agency to identify up to 9 potential civil compliance investigations of publicly traded corporations, large nonprofit corporations or associations, foundations with assets of $500 million or more, state and local bar and medical associations, and institutions of higher education with endowments over $1 billion. Damn. So now he has undone literally decades of fucking work from people who actually was trying to make America better. Now he's just fucking, he's trying to turn fucking America into fucking basically Mussolini's fucking Italy of World War II or around that time. This is fascism. Other executive orders affecting federal workers. Trump signed several other provisions that will impact government workers. He required a full-time return to in-office work for federal employees and ordered a hiring freeze on government positions. The hiring freeze does not apply to the military or immigration enforcement, national security, or public safety. He also reinstated his first-term Schedule F executive order, which would make it easier to fire civil servants deemed disloyal. That is literally how you define fascism. He's not trying to save money. He's literally, it's in the wording. All it's about is whether or not the people are loyal to him. If you don't have ways to combat someone's power, then it becomes unchecked. There's checks and balances in our fucking constitution, in our system, for a reason, to keep fucking Hitlers from rising to power. So here we go. The order could strip employment protections from thousands of federal employees. Axios' Mimi Montgomery reports employees are not required to personally or politically support the current president, but they must faithfully implement administration policies to the best of their ability, the order said. That's the same fucking thing. If Trump tells you to jump, you ask how high. That is absolutely fucked. January 6 pardons. This is another fucked up thing. Trump pardoned the vast majority of January 6 defendants charged with participating in the Capitol riot and commuted the sentences of 14 others. Among those were leaders of the extremist groups, the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. These are the hostages, approximately 1,500 for a pardon, full pardon, Trump said from the Oval Office on his first night as president. Pardoning rioters was a prominent campaign pledge, but Trump had previously said recipients would be determined on a case-by-case basis. Zoom out. He also announced Tuesday he had signed a full and unconditional pardon for Ross Ulbricht, the creator of the unlawful Silk Road Marketplace, who was sentenced to life in prison in 2015. That tells you who he is. Wow. So he surrounded himself by robber barons, and now he's trying to make it easier for other robber barons to get away with shit. Like, is that what you wanted, fucking MAGA people? You want to get fucked over? Like, do you think that he's going to make you wealthy? Because if so, you're stupid. Health executive orders, WHO, COVID, and drug costs. Trump signed an order pulling the U.S. from the World Health Organization, a process he started during the first term. Monday's order said the U.S. will withdraw due to the organization's mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic pandemic and other global health crises, its failure to adopt urgently needed reforms, and its inability to demonstrate independence from the inappropriate political influence of WHO member states. Wow. So Trump literally botched the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. He went against what the WHO said, and they were correct. You can tell because of how the countries that followed WHO's guidelines did afterward. Also, on a related note, you'll notice if you look this up, you can find the information. So before the vaccine rollouts, but it was tested that both Democrats and Republicans contracted the virus at roughly the same rate as you would expect, the same rate. And what happened is after the vaccine rollout, Republicans started catching the virus at a vastly, drastically increased rate compared to their Democratic counterparts. What does that tell you? That tells you that these stupid, idiotic fucking conspiracy theorist people that fucking believe everything Trump says, who's a fucking moron, they died in greater proportion because they were stupid and believed all this fucking crap that was all of this anti-vaxxer shit. Look it up. Not making it up. Zoom out. Trump also rescinded a 2022 Biden order to lower the cost of prescription drugs. Again, this is who Trump is. Literally, there is no reason to do that other than to fuck the American people. Like, there's no positive way. There's no way you can spin that and go, well, we don't believe that's a good thing. Like, what the fuck? Like, you want your grandmother to spend like fucking, there's no fucking protection at all. Like, these fucking shit robber baron fucking pharmaceutical companies can charge like 500% or more of what they charge in other countries. And your grandmothers and you yourselves, many people are on prescription medications. You're fucked. Is that what you wanted? This is another one of those things that I called early on. Prescription drugs would get pulled back, and specifically Biden's order and what he did to lower those prices, it would get rescinded, and it did. Told you so. TikTok extension, Dodge, and more executive orders. Trump signed a number of other executive orders and actions. Those include ensuring government agencies do not unconstitutionally abridge the free speech of any American citizen, highlighting what Trump and his allies considered censorship under Biden. And that's hilarious because literally Trump is the closest thing to attacking free speech that we've ever seen in this country. He's literally tried to threaten fucking the media. It's literally their job to call things fairly and accurately. But because Trump didn't like it, because it made him in an unfavorable light, he threatened fucking libel lawsuits and actually went through with a number of lawsuits. He is not your free speech president. Ordering a review of trade practices and agreements, revoking security clearances of Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, and former intelligence officials who signed a letter discrediting the Hunter Biden laptop story, formally establishing the Department of Government Efficiency, which is designed basically to fuck everybody, not to cut costs as they claim, suspending the TikTok ban for 75 days, declaring that federal buildings should respect regional, traditional, and classical architectural heritage to beautify public spaces and ennoble the United States. That sounds like specific shit to basically get away with white nationalism. The only thing that I can think of that directly applies to is some of the South's work that they've went on to get rid of fucking obvious like white nationalist shit like Confederate fucking flags and crap, and monuments that honored slave owners and shit. So basically he's telling you, look, I'm a white nationalist. I am Hitler. Renaming Denali to Mount McKinley and the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. That's fucking stupid. And that's pretty much it so far. So that is Donald Trump for you. This is not even close to all the things I called, and they're coming. Just wait. But there was at least 2 things in there that I called. Told you so. And everyone's like, dude, you're just overreacting. You're turning everything into hyperbole. Am I? Am I? It's already fucking here. And by the way, this is fucking Project 2025. Told you. Everybody's like, dude, he said that he knew nothing about it. Do you believe everything fucking Trump says to you? That makes you a fucking moron. He has told more lies than any president in ever in history. And you believe him. You fucking morons. So this is literally everything that's happened straight from the get-go has been directly out of the fucking blueprints from Project 2025. Like no one, like you have no fucking brain if you're going to make the claim now with all of this that he's not enacting Project 2025. That's exactly what he's doing. And he does not give a fuck about anyone else in the United. What all he cares about is his fucking robber baron buddies who helped him get elected. And he's already started fucking over Americans. And all of the things that he promised you, all of the things that got him elected when it shouldn't have, because you should know he's a lying piece of shit, because that's his entire history. All of that shit. He's using all of this fear-mongering shit, like making up lies about fucking migrants and stuff and trans shit and all this crap that's like non-issues, doesn't even fucking matter, doesn't affect anyone. He's using that as a smokescreen so that you don't actually think about the things that the important things that he claimed that he was going to do, like changing the economy, fucking healthcare, dealing with healthcare. Do you think he's going to do any of that? No. He's not going to fucking bring down the price of eggs that he claimed numerous times. He has no interest in that. He's a fucking liar. Everything's about to get way worse. It's already started. Everything's already shifting. The economy was in great shape. Now it's shifting in a downward spiral. And then it's going to be another, I told you so. Now, all of you people that were like, yeah, fuck yeah, Trump's going to change everything. He's going to make everything better. Next time, when someone is not retarded and you are, listen to what they have to say, because you might be able to keep shit like this from happening in the future. If you're a fucking idiot, it's absolutely imperative that you learn to take people who have brains and take their fucking opinion seriously, because now you're fucked. Thank you for your time.